rest of YouTube, it's your girl Jay, and welcome back to another update video. As you guys can read by the title, this is not just an ordinary update. This is a whole breakdown of what I've been through and what is waiting for me, what I still have to get done. So let's dive right into this video. So as you guys know, I have been seeing doctors and gynecologists, went to the urgent care like a couple of times. If you guys watch my previous videos, you guys would know. And if you guys haven't, go watch my previous videos so you guys can follow what I'm talking about. So I'm going to break this down for you guys very carefully, and also so you guys can have an understanding of what I'm talking about. Guys, let me tell you, I was, as I said in I think my first video, was never that excited to see a doctor or a gynecologist so I can really figure out what is going on. But right now, I don't think I'm excited no more. No excitement no more. So I'm going to start from the beginning. So I've been having my period since December 9. As I'm speaking right now, haven't stopped at all, right? So on January 15th, I felt the baddest in my body. I felt so sick that I felt like I was dying. So I went to the urgent care. They tested me at the urgent care for a bunch of stuff. They did pap smear and all of that. And I eventually got the bill last week. The urgent care billed me $2,176.40. If you guys see me look down, it's because I made some notes. Because I got it off my portal, but on my portal I cannot reflect the screen because there's really sensitive information on there. So that's why I wrote it down. So the urgent care billed me $2,176.40, which my insurance covered nothing. They didn't cover anything. So I had to pay that amount of money. On January 19th, I still didn't feel okay, and I went to go see my doctor. And that was also an annual exam that I had to get done. But that was because that was my first time seeing my doctor. And my doctor billed me $770, which my insurance covered $200. So I still have to pay $570. Then I had to go back to the gynecologist on February 1st. On February 1st, she did a pap smear again, and she had some blood tests that I had to get done. So just the gynecologist, the pap smear, and whatever the doctor did inside there, they billed me $552, and the lab test was $155, which the bills at that they billed the insurance, but nothing had gone through. So some of this stuff shows pending, and some of them I had to pay. So that $552 and the $155, I have to pay that out of my pocket. And then I had to go back to the gynecologist on February 4th because the bleeding just got heavier because the doctor pulled me on a pill, and that pill I think did some kind of situation inside my body, but the bleeding just got so heavy to a point where I couldn't keep up with it. So I had to go back, and that was February 4th that I went back. And also on February 4th, that was the day where my doctor had did the endometrial biopsy. So I also got that procedure done that day. And the bill over there was $2,638, and the insurance covered $1,976, and I had to pay $660. And then after that, on February 9th, I went back to my gynecologist because the bleeding didn't stop. I felt sick. I couldn't go to work. I went to work, but I had to leave work early because I was just not myself. And that bill came up to $441, which also, as the previous bills, the insurance did not cover that. And then I had to get lab tests done. So today is currently Sunday, February 21st. last week Thursday, I had to rush to the doctor because my emotions was all over because the bleeding didn't stop. The bleeding got heavier. I had bad cramps. I was just all over. It was just not me. And the doctor had billed me for that day when I saw her $341, which the insurance hopefully will cover that because it says pending. And I also had lab tests done that same day again, and that lab test was $155. And you guys, as I'm looking at these numbers, I have to pay $4,654.40 out of my pocket. I don't know how I'm gonna do that, to be honest. You guys know how medical insurance in the States work. Like, they only cover a certain amount, they only cover certain stuff, and like it also depends on how long you've been on the insurance. Like, they have some kind of period or window where they only cover certain stuff, which sucks, to be honest. And then I was just looking through my portal. I had got blood tests done 5 times ever since January 15th until last week Thursday. I got one procedure done, which was my endometrial biopsy, which, if I look back, that was not necessary. That was so unnecessary. That was not necessary. That was just a waste. But if you guys know, like, going to the doctor, that's also some kind of business. It's a business, right? So they have to make their money. They have to do some sort of stuff so they can get their money, right? Because those doctors need to get paid. And because some of us, it's not that we uneducated, we just don't know all this stuff. And once you in the moment of, listen, this is an emergency, like, I just need this to go away, like, you will literally do everything, right? And that is me right now. Like, I literally followed all the stuff the doctors had told me. Like, if they tell me right now, like, hey, you need to get 6 procedures done so the bleeding can stop, so they will be like, oh, you need to get 6 procedures done and maybe the bleeding will stop, I will do that, even if there was a maybe in their sentence, because I'm done at this point. Like, I just wanted to stop. As I said, I got a ton of blood work done, all those testings. I had 3 pap smears since January 15th. I got one January 15th. I got one February 1st when I saw my gynecologist for the first time. And then I also got one done February 9th. So I got 3 pap smears done in this time, which I was like, this is just ridiculous, right? And every time I went to go see the doctor, they bill you because that's time. So as of last week, I'm really trying just to call her, or I will email her. Like, the portal is really, really nice because sometimes I will just go on there and send her a text, and then I will wait like 3 hours, and then I will go back and then I will say, oh, she did respond on my text. Like, last week I got some blood work back and I didn't fully understood what it really meant. I went back and I text her on the portal and asked her that she should call me or text me and just explain to me what they meant by whatever is on the portal. So she did text me back, just letting me know that, hey, there's nothing to worry about. All your results came back and it looked good and all of that. But I still did not feel comfortable with that. So I text her back and be like, hey, like, can you really understand where I'm coming from? Like, I don't necessarily want to know that everything is negative. I want to know what's going on, you know. So that was it. And this was not really funny, but this was so odd. Last week Thursday when I went to the doctor, guys, I was never that scared. So I was in the doctor's office and I was just sitting down, and the doctor came in, but I was sitting on the bed, and then the door is like half behind me. So she came in and I was sitting like this, and she saw my hands and she was like, Janice. And I was like, hey, doctor. And she was like, your nails is not supposed to look like that. I was like, wait, what? And she was like, you've been losing not a lot of blood, you've been losing too much blood. Like, this is not normal. Like, I'm so, like, my fingernails, like, everything is so white, and I'm so pale. And I just told one of my friends last night that people normally get dizzy once, once you sit down and you get up too fast. But I will just sit down literally, and all of a sudden I will just get dizzy, and everything will just, I'll just being in a moment where I'm like, listen, I cannot get up, but I also don't want to sit down. I need to lay down. So it's the most uncomfortable thing ever. So I've been going through a lot, like all these tests and stuff. On Thursday, when the doctor was like, "Oh, we just need 2 tubes of blood because we need to send it to the lab for this and this," and I asked her, I was like, "Doctor, I've lost so much blood. Is it really necessary for you guys to take more? Like, I don't see the point of it." And they've been taking so much blood because my doctor had me did some blood work, and that same exact day the gynecologist had me do some blood work. So listen, they had, I think it was 11 tubes that they had between my doctor and my gynecologist, because they all need to get blood work done. And I was like, this is ridiculous. And that was on February 1st, even though I saw my doctor on January 19th, but she requested the blood work whenever I go see my gynecologist, or I can come back to the lab and just had them do it. So when I saw my gynecologist, I eventually decided to just do all the blood work that same day, which is not the smartest thing that I could have done. But I was like, I just need to get everything, like, I just want to be everything, like, just get it off me, right? So I did that. And that was not the smartest thing, because after that day I felt so bad because I've been losing a lot of blood, and also they took some blood. So that was really bad. But you guys, when I saw the doctor, I told my husband that I'm worried because all of these bills and stuff, and I really try not to see the doctor anymore. But unfortunately, I'm in a state, or I'm in a position where I don't want to say I don't have a choice, because I always have a choice not to see the doctor, but because I also want to know what's happening in my body, because this has been going on for so long. And to be honest, yesterday was like, I was talking to a friend, and she said some stuff, and like, I just had some really like bad flashbacks of what I've gone through. Because if you think about it, like, I've been bleeding if this bleeding continues until March 9th, then I would be bleeding for 3 months straight, for 90 days straight, non-stop, right? Which, God forbid, is gonna stop, because the doctors put me on birth control two weeks ago, and I used the birth control for about a week, and the doctor was like, oh, after 3 or 5 days it should stop. I really had my hopes up for that, and I was so excited. I even told my husband, I was like, but babe, I'm so excited, like, all this is gonna stop, like, like, I'll be fine again. I'll be able to, like, go to the gym and work out my normal workout routine, because I don't have to be concerned about bleeding and, like, be scared of, like, I only can do certain stuff and certain stuff I cannot do, because that's how bad I'm bleeding. I had to take a break from the gym also. And the birth control didn't help at all. So when I saw the doctor on Thursday, I told her that, hey, like, this thing is not working, like, it made it worse. So she was like, listen, we're gonna take you off the birth control, and we're gonna give you something different. And there should definitely, like, after 3 days, like, your bleeding should, at least, if it's not away, it should be like only spotting. And after 3 days, like, to be honest, me using it, my bleeding just got worse. Like, right now as I speak, like, it's just worse. So I called my doctor. I called them yesterday and I couldn't get hold of them. So I called them this morning, and the lady told me that they close and blah blah blah, but the doctor that's on call will call me back. So they haven't called me back, and I had to reach out to them again. And then she told me that I can leave a message, and tomorrow morning when the doctors come back, they will definitely come back to me. So fingers crossed. hopefully they will come back to me, because this is very serious. This is a serious concern that I have, because I just feel like no woman should gone through that. And even the doctor told me that I saw, she is really old. Like, she looked like she can be in her 50s, and she's been practicing for really long, because we talked a little bit. And she said in her life she have never came across a woman that's been bleeding for almost 3 months. Like, this is no joke. This is a very serious concern. If you've ever thought that, oh, like, this is just her bleeding and then spotting and then bleeding, and no, like, it's bleeding straight. Like, I didn't had no spotting at all during this almost 3 months. And if you guys can just imagine like what I'm going through, I know like there's women out there who can relate, and there's some women who cannot. But I'm going through a lot. Like, I'm going through the most difficult time of my life right now, because I have so much going through my mind. You know, like, you going through something that you're not used to, and like mentally and emotionally, this thing have drained me so much. But I think there's one thing that I don't know how to be thankful enough for that, and that's my husband. Like, he is so supportive. And I just realized yesterday that I've been going through all of this, and I'm trying to, like, trying to deal with it on my own. And in the meantime, I don't realize how much I hurt myself, but also in the process how much I hurt him, because he really tries to help, and I'm just like, distancing myself, trying to fix this thing in my own, even though I'm going through the doctors, and I really keep him updated, like whatever the doctor said, like I will keep him updated, because his work schedule also is so tight right now that some of my appointments he cannot make, but that's totally understandable. And also, the protocol in the doctor's office is that only allow one person in there, which is the patient. So it's also useless for him to take off work and then just go sit in the waiting area waiting for me. And so he's working really hard, and as I said, like, I couldn't ask for a better support system. He's really my rock. I couldn't have asked for better. And for all you guys out there who've been supporting me, thank you so much. I do not know how to say thank you. I wish that was a better way of me expressing my love, and how appreciative I am, like how much I really appreciate you guys. And for my family-in-law back home, I just want to say thank you. For my family in South Africa, thank you so much. Thank you all of you guys for all the prayers and all the support. Everything. I appreciate it. We appreciate it. If you guys are new to this channel, please go like, comment, and subscribe right now. And if you're following us, please go leave your comment down in the comment section down below, and just tell me just how, if you were in this kind of situation, like what would you do, like what would you consider, and if you guys have any natural remedies that could stop bleeding. I'm at a point where I am open to try, I just don't want to try stuff that I know that could hurt my body. But if it's all natural remedies, like, I'm willing to try all that. And for one of our friends that was here yesterday, who really encouraged me and really talked sense into my head, and like, really, like, she said certain stuff that totally makes sense. I just want to thank you. You know who you are. I just want to thank you for all of that. You guys should stay safe and stay tuned for more videos.